Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening. Once again, it is 8:57 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is now 8:58 actually p.m. Central Standard Time. I want to give you all time to tune in to this broadcast on this Pacific evening. And as you do so, I just want to check some things out, want to make sure that the audio is good, and that the destinations that I've selected, I like to kind of check it out to make sure that I'm streaming from the destinations that I've selected, which is Facebook, streaming live, and I'm streaming publicly from my Facebook page. I know you can barely see that. And I am also streaming live from YouTube. And so I'm going to right now go on over to YouTube, and I just want to just check to make sure that the stream is running on YouTube right now. So that's what I'm doing. Just checking it out and seeing, making sure that I'm streaming in the manner in which I'd like to stream on both platforms. So, yes, I am streaming live from my YouTube channel. It is a growing channel, and I am inviting you to join or subscribe, rather, to Missing, Lost, and Trafficked on YouTube. It's growing. It's recently been created, and so there's not a whole lot of engagement right now. Some comments here and there, but I would love for you to visit my YouTube channel, visit Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, and you're welcome to share or weigh in on the various missing persons cases that I've covered on Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. And so, great. I see that I'm looking well on YouTube right now. That's a good thing. I have my YouTube streaming from Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. And then also I'm streaming live to Facebook. And so what I like to do, um, I'm streaming live to Facebook. What I'd like to do is to share this live stream on Facebook with some groups that I am an admin for and groups that I've joined on Facebook. So I am going to do that right now. Some of you are starting to tune in to this live stream right now, and I welcome you. I welcome you. Welcome, 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 welcome. And so I'd love for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I am streaming from both platforms at this time. So I'm going to share this live stream with a few groups. So I'm sharing this live stream now with Michael Joseph in Fruitland, Idaho group. I'm sharing this live stream now with Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. I am sharing this live stream right now, continuing to share this live stream with Missing Children Awareness. I'm continuing to share this live stream. I am going to share it with the Grim Truth Podcast. So, yes, I'm sharing it with the Grim Truth Podcast. I am sharing this live stream with Queen Tia Reading and Guidance. I'm continuing to share this live stream. I may pick two other groups here. I'm sharing this live stream with Where is Isabella. I am sharing this live stream with True Crime Room right now. So shared the live stream with a few groups, and I'm just going to give you a few minutes to, tune in to this stream right now. Giving you a few minutes to do that. I have maybe a handful of people watching right now, but I do want to give you time to, join this specific live stream on today. Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for taking time to tune in to this specific live stream. And we will be reflecting on the abduction and rescue of Chloe Smith this evening. Okay. So thank you so very much. And so, yep, I'm just sharing this live stream to a few different places, few groups on Facebook as I wait for you to tune in right now to this live stream. And so I'm sure there'll be a few other individuals about, I would say 9:10, no later than 9:15. I definitely will begin discussing the abduction and rescue of Chloe Smith. Okay. So I will be discussing her disappearance as well as her having been successfully found and returned to her family. We are going to reflect on what we can learn really tonight. There's some things that we can learn from her disappearance, and I hope that we do learn it and apply some details that I'm going to point out to you when searching for other missing children, other children who may go missing here in the United States. And so thank you for taking the time to tune in. Thank you for taking the time to tune in on today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will begin discussing the disappearance of Chloe Smith on at about 9:10. So in about 5 minutes, I just want to give you time, everyone time, sufficient time to join the stream. Please share this live stream. I always say sharing is caring. So I would love for you to share this live stream. I would love for you, this live stream and what I will be sharing with you on tonight. It is extremely important. It's extremely important. And there are some things that we can learn. Okay. Definitely that we can learn. Okay. And so, and I'm hoping that you are able to, tune in tonight and just sort of reflect on what we can learn from the disappearance of this young girl. Thank you so very much for joining this live stream. And Australia, they are elated. The nation is celebrating the successful recovery of Chloe Smith. It is definitely considered by a lot of individuals, her having been found as being a miracle. Some people are viewing the successful recovery of Chloe Smith being found alive as a miracle. Okay, as a miracle. And so definitely this is her emergence, so to speak, her having been found and being found safe and being found alive, and being found alive is definitely an event worthy of a huge celebration. So there is a celebration going forth in Australia. We are celebrating here in the United States. We're celebrating across the country. We're celebrating tonight. We've been celebrating since we learned that this beautiful 4-year-old girl had indeed been found, and she had been found alive. Okay, she's been found. She has been found alive. Isn't it amazing? It is absolutely amazing. And we are so very happy. We're so happy. We are. And so thank you so much for taking the time to tune into this stream. It is 9:08 p.m. I will begin reflecting on this case and discussing some things very important that we can all take away, right? That we could learn from the disappearance of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little girl, beautiful, bright little girl. And I will be reflecting on this case, just giving you an overview of what happened, how it happened, and then we'll go into some other, well, not other topics, but I want to point out some details to you that I think it's a re-emerging situation, so to speak, that I am seeing with other cases of missing children in the United States of America. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It is 9:09 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, it is. And thank you for joining from Facebook. You're joining Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. And I'm not sure who's joining from YouTube, but if you are on YouTube and you're watching, it's a brand new channel. Thank you for taking the time to, join this stream. Yeah. Thank you for taking time to join this stream on this evening. And so we are going to get started. At least I'm going to get started with reflecting on this Pacific disappearance. And after I discuss, give you an overview of what happened here, then I will kind of go into some takeaways, okay? There are some things that we can learn, okay, from her disappearance, among many others, very similar to thousands of other children who have gone missing. Her disappearance, it's very similar. There's similarities, okay, in her disappearance, in Chloe's disappearance, and other and disappearances of other children across the United States of America and across the world and around the world, rather. And so, thank you. So, I'm pulling up. I took some notes here. And so pulling up my notes that I've taken, and I've taken some rather detailed notes. And so first I want to start by giving you some statistics, okay? That's right, stats. Stats are important. It's important that we understand statistically speaking, we understand how many children, or at least we get an idea of how many children are going missing each year around the world. And so the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they have estimated these statistics, right? in terms of abductions, children going missing. Okay, in Australia, an estimated 20,000 children are reported missing every year. Okay, are reported missing every year. And these statistics I am quoting from the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. In Canada, an estimated 2,088 children are reported missing each year. In Germany, an estimated 100,000 children are reported missing each year. In India, an estimated 96,000 children go missing every year. In Jamaica, an estimated 1,984 children were reported missing, and they have a specific year here, so I'm going to quote that year. An estimated 1,984 children were reported missing in 2015. This information they got. This is derived from Jamaica's Office of Children's Registry. In Russia, an estimated 45,000 children were reported missing in 2015. In Spain, an estimated 20,000 children are reported missing every year. In the United Kingdom, an estimated 112,853 children are reported missing every year. And in the United States, an estimated 460,000 children are reported missing every year. And this is just a snapshot of the problem. In many countries, statistics on missing children are not even available, and unfortunately, even available statistics may be inaccurate due to underreporting, under-recognition, inflation, incorrect database entry of case information, and deletion of records once a case is closed. So that's important for you to know. I have quoted these statistics from the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. At the end of this specific live stream, I will include a link. I will include a link, right, to the stats quoted during this live stream on today. You may want to know who Chloe is, just in case you have not been following her disappearance, you've never heard of her. Well, Chloe Smith, she is 4 years of age, and she is one of children abducted, right, on a very short list, okay, of children actually abducted and rescued, okay, abducted by a non-family, okay, member who was successfully rescued alive, okay. There is a very short list of children, okay, actually found alive, abducted, who were found alive, abducted by non-family members, and Chloe Smith has been added to that list. Chloe was not subjected to years of unspeakable abuse and torture. She is a child, okay, who was abducted and was actually rescued while still in her childhood phase. That is very important. She is a child, 4 years old, who was actually rescued. She's been rescued while still in her childhood phase, right, of life. Chloe Smith, or Chloe, she went missing in Australia, but she was able to return home in just 19 days, or 19 days after she had been reported missing. I'm going to talk a little bit about the circumstances surrounding her abduction. Okay. This abduction has similarities to that of other individuals who escaped their abductors several months to years after being abducted. We must reflect on the similarities so we can improve our recovery rate for abducted children around the world. Before I point out those similarities, I want to share what happened to Chloe about 3 weeks ago. At a campsite in Western Australia, north of Perth, on October 16th, in the remote Blowholes campsite, about 1,000 kilometers north of Perth, this toddler mom said that her daughter and her were sleeping, right? The daughter, which is Chloe, and Chloe's youngest sister, they were sleeping, okay? They were sleeping, and they were in a tent, okay? Along with their mom, okay? And dad. When the family awoke, or woke up rather, around 6 a.m., Chloe was gone and the tent door was open. The family had arrived at the Blowholes campsite at Macleod on the northwest coast of Western Australia on Friday, about 6:30 p.m. Smith said Cleo, I hope I haven't been saying her name wrong, sorry. Cleo went to bed about 8 p.m. And forgive me, I've been saying Chloe. Cleo went to bed about 8 p.m. after dinner before the rest of their family, including her sister, Isla. Smith said her daughter had woken in the night about 1:30 a.m. on Saturday, asking for water, and that was the last time her parents saw her. Okay. At the time of her disappearance, the girl Cleo was wearing a pink one-piece sleep suit with blue and yellow pattern, and was in a red and black sleeping bag, which was also missing, the Guardian reported. Cleo had been sleeping on an air mattress, to be more precise, next to her younger sister's cot. Police said witnesses came forward with the sighting of a car at the scene of Cleo Smith's disappearance, which coincides with evidence of screeching tires being heard at the campsite from which Cleo disappeared. The timing of the car sighting coincided with evidence from other campers that they heard the sound of screeching tires rapidly leaving the campsite about 3 a.m. Cleo was found in a house in Carnival, about 6 minutes drive away from her family home. Maybe you didn't hear me. I want to make sure that everyone heard this part. Cleo was found in a house about 6 minutes away from her family's home. Detective Sergeant Cameron Blaine, one of the officers who found her, said Cleo was alert and aware at the time she was rescued. Cleo was reportedly found minutes away from her family's residence. And Cleo, she isn't the only child that has been found in the same neighborhood or community for which an abduction occurred or has occurred. In June of 2021, yeah, just this year, Maggie Millsap, she, at 5 years old, was allegedly kidnapped and held hostage back in June. She was rescued after a neighbor called 911 when Raynell Jones heard a young voice yelling for help and banging on the window of a neighboring Detroit duplex. She knew something was terribly wrong. The streak late last month was familiar. Maggie Millsap, a friend of her daughter's, whom Jones described as the greatest 5-year-old kid I've ever met in my life. When a panicked Jones saw what was happening, Maggie indicated to her and some of the residents who had gathered outside that a monster had kidnapped her and held her captive for a few days in a unit across the hall from where she lives. Jones calling 911 was a community rescue of a 5-year-old girl who police say was held hostage by her neighbor, the Washington Post reported. Now I'm going to take you back a little bit further. We're going to go to February of 2020. Police found the body of 6-year-old Faye Swick, I'm going to just say Faye S., who had been missing since Monday afternoon. Investigators found the body of 30-year-old Cotty Taylor in the same neighborhood and have linked the deaths. A critical piece of evidence was found in Taylor's trash can, WSOCTV reported. Now we're going to go back a little bit further. I'm going to take you back to 1978. There was yet another abduction with startling similarities to the abduction and finding of Faye S. and Maggie Millsap. Jacob Irving Wertelin. He was born February 17 of 1978. Unfortunately, Jacob was found deceased October 22nd of 1989. You might ask yourself who Jacob is. Jacob Wertelin. He was an American boy from St. Joseph, Minnesota, who was kidnapped from his hometown and murdered at the age of 11 on October 22nd, 1989. His abduction remained a mystery for nearly 27 years. On September 1st of 2016, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension recovered human bones from a pasture near Painesville, about 30 miles from the site of the abduction. On September 3rd, the family announced that the bones were those of Jacob, and local law enforcement stated that the identity of the bones had been confirmed by dental records. The location was revealed by Danny Henrich, a longtime person of interest in the abduction of another boy, 12-year-old Jared, in the nearby town of Cold Spring. On September 6th of 2016, Henrich confessed to kidnapping and murdering Wetterland, as well as abducting and sexually assaulting Shrill. Jacob was killed on the day he was abducted. He was abducted October 22nd of 1989 in Painesville, Minnesota, and he was killed on October 22nd of 1989 in Painesville, Minnesota. Jacob's remains were found 27 years later in the same town for which he was abducted. Chloe, like thousands of children abducted each year, was abducted within feet of her parents. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say, I mean Cleo. I'm sorry. Cleo, like thousands of children abducted each year, was abducted within feet of her parents. Cleo, like thousands of children abducted each year, was not taken too far from the site of the abduction. Cleo, like thousands of children abducted each year, was held hostage in the same neighborhood her family lived. Cleo is on a very short list of children abducted who have actually been found alive. There is a truth. Missing person advocates and law enforcement no longer should ignore in order to save more abducted children from the monsters who snatched them and imprisoned them in the same neighborhood they resided. Child predator monsters are closer than you think. Your children are within their reach. But if we could just face the truth, we could bring more of our abducted children home alive. Thank you so very much for taking time out to tune in to this broadcast today. Thank you so very much for taking time to join from wherever you are. You may be joining from Facebook. You may be joining from YouTube. So thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I would like for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. If you haven't already done so, I am going to make an on-air correction right now, because for much of this stream, I was saying Cleo, 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 and her name is pronounced, from my understanding, or I was pronouncing it as Chloe, and her name is pronounced as Cleo, okay? So please forgive me. I think I'm among a few other people who have done this. So please forgive me. Her name is pronounced 4-year-old Cleo Smith and not Chloe Smith, okay? There's not an H. It's Cleo Smith and not Chloe. So I do want to make an on-air correction. Oh my goodness. I feel terrible for mispronouncing Cleo's name and pronouncing it as Chloe. I am checking right now. Someone said they had an interruption. I want to make sure if you were able to hear most, if not all of what I said, please give me a thumbs up. I'm tuning in from another device. I did turn the volume down, so I'm not sure what was happening exactly, because I turned the volume down, right? So you wouldn't hear feedback in the background. And so if you were able to hear much or most or all of what I said stated without any issues, thank you. Someone was saying that there was an interruption, and I was trying to figure out what they were talking about, and I did not want to, just stop and do a whole sound check. So I was just really hoping that most of you, that you could hear, there was no interruptions, at least for much of my audience, right? Thank you. All right. So that kind of threw me off, Jennifer, when you were saying, is it interrupted for anybody else? I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of network issue or something like that. I just want to further elaborate. I see that there are 82 shares on this live stream. Yay! That is awesome. That is absolutely amazing. I want to elaborate a little bit. I noticed the Australian police. They were desperately, it wasn't a matter of routine for them. They were desperately trying to find Cleo. They were so desperate. And I wish what I saw done would have been done in other cases that I'm currently covering. They were so desperate to get answers. They were looking through garbage. Yeah. A lot of garbage. Tons of garbage. They were looking through garbage. That's how desperate they were for answers. Okay? They were desperate. Also, I noticed that the community came together, and they're not the only community that have come together, right, and shared tips. But when some people saw something, I'll just say that much, that wasn't right, allegedly, they said something. Allegedly. Reportedly. More details are coming out soon. The town knew, right? There was a little girl missing, right? Everyone knew it. And there was a strong possibility that someone had snatched her. Therefore, people were paying attention to certain things that certain people were doing in their own neighborhoods. I think we fail to do that a lot of times. I've been preaching that a lot lately. When someone goes missing in your town, Fruitland, Idaho, and I can mention some other places, it's very important, not just someone, but a little kid, that we began really paying attention to our neighbors' patterns. If they're getting things for children or that children need, and they're an individual that lives alone, and there's a kid missing, you should report that. You should report that. And I'm not saying start stalking your neighbors by any means. I'm saying pay attention. Paying attention to your neighbors can help. It could help tremendously. It could help investigators save more children before they become statistics. Statistically speaking, when a child 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, under 10 goes missing, they're, for the most part, typically no more than 30 minutes or an hour away from their home. Some children, a lot of them, I'm not going to say some, reportedly were found deceased minutes away from their home, from their mommy and their daddy's home. How disheartening is it for a child to go missing and for that child to be in the neighbor's house right around the corner from their grieving parents for months or even years, and parents not know? How disgraceful is it for a child to go missing and be a few feet or possibly no more than 5 miles away from their home, and no one knows? These children, a lot of them that go missing, they're closer to their parents than their parents could ever even imagine. That's frightening. So we must ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? What are we overlooking? We could share, and share 1,000 times or more. A face, a photo, a flyer. But these children need us to start paying attention. That's how we save them. We save them by paying attention. And we save them by calling attention to something that our neighbor may be doing, or someone close to us, they hadn't been typically doing. When a child goes missing in our town, we save them by looking through the garbage. We save them by sharing what we know, no matter how insignificant we think it could be. There are so many other Cleos around the world missing tonight, and no one knows. No one knows where they are, and they are practically within arm's reach of their parents. That's the frightening part. The most frightening part about it, all of this. Let's turn it around. Let's get some more children found. And we can do it. We can do it by paying attention to our neighbors, that is. Have a great day.